What's up, guys? This is Mushy Tonius, and yeah, man, we're about to deconstruct who I am, basically everything you never knew about me, as well as there's a surprise at the end. So stay tuned.
Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself outside of music? Who are you when you are not making music?
That's a tough question, but I think I am. I don't know. I'm a normal guy. I don't know how else to put this, but if I'm not making music, I'm either gymming or I'm reading books, financial books. Yeah, it's so hard to picture myself outside of music because all I do is just music. But yeah, I think that's as how I can answer it.
That is so great. So if you could just tell us, when did you first fall in love with music and what drew you to lo-fi specifically?
When did I first fall in love with music? Okay, I think I fell in love with music in grade 3. I don't know what year grade 3 was, but I think it all started in a way of like hearing sounds in songs that I never thought I could hear. I used to find myself in a situation where I'm telling my friends, like, do you hear that sound? Like, I hear a bell there. I don't even know what to call that, like, what is that? Like, do you hear that? And my friends used to be like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't hear what you're talking about. So I think that's when I started realizing, like, I hear sound in a bit more detailed, if I can put it that way. Yeah, that's how I can answer that one. What drew me to lo-fi actually is kind of like a sad story because I wasn't going through the best times of my life. I think this was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I took a walk, basically. I took a walk and I was stressed. I didn't know what to do. I think that time of my life was me maturing to be, being an adult, So I took a walk. I went to the park. I couldn't sleep, by the way. Like, I could not sleep for like the whole week. So I took a walk and I went to the furthest place that I could go by just walking. And I remember I had my phone and I had my headphone. So I realized that there's beats, on Spotify that you can just listen to. Shout out to them, by the way, because, they kind of shaped, the beats that I was listening to, like, and gave me suggestions. So I remember I was like listening to one of the beats. I forgot which artist I was listening to, but I think it was In Love. There's this other guy called In Love. He does beats on Spotify, but I think it's him. And I remember I just started to just press play, and after doing that, that was when like I realized, like, oh, okay, this is nice. Like, I hope they have more of this. And like how Spotify always has suggestions, they suggested the next one, and I think I listened to Casio, and then Casio Softy came in, and now I'm hearing every single other like lo-fi artist out there, and I just fell in love with lo-fi, and like it spoke to me, and I think it gave me a sense of peace at that moment, and I felt brand new. I didn't feel like I was, dying in my mind. I felt like I'm alive again. So yeah.
That's amazing. If you could just tell us as well that if someone who has never met you listens to your music, right? So speaking about lo-fi, what do you hope they would understand about you?
I hope that they understand that I'm peaceful. Because if you go into Mushy Tonius and you want to listen to the lo-fi beats there, they should be able to give you a sense of peace, the same way that when I listened to lo-fi, it gave me a sense of peace. So you should also feel inspired for creators, to make more music. And yeah, I think, yeah.
That's beautiful. Now, if we had to jump to your journey as a lo-fi artist, um, so according to me, I feel like lo-fi, and also how you explained it, you said lo-fi is a very peaceful thing to listen to, and that's how you want people to see you as well. So lo-fi feels very emotional, peaceful, and calming. What role does it play in your own life?
Mm, the role. I think it makes me feel better. Um, with music, music is a form of art. It's a form of, if you have certain emotions, maybe you're angry, you are able to speak through music. If you feel down, like for example, if I feel down, I'm able to portray all my feelings, in the piano. If I start playing the piano, I start feeling a certain way, and I start feeling like I wanna write more. I wanna communicate more, and I feel like it's my form of communication to the next person, that this is how I'm feeling right now, and this is how I can better explain how I'm feeling. Yeah, I think this is the role that it plays.
Amazing. Do you remember the first track you have ever made? Your first lo-fi track you've ever made? And what was going through your mind back then?
Uh, I don't think I remember my first track. I think I think it was called Lo-Fi Pie. Yeah, I think it was called Lo-Fi Pie. It was like 1 minute. Actually, I'm lying. No, it can't be Lo-Fi Pie. Lo-Fi Pie happened in my EP. On my other profile, Ayomush, I used to release music there. So basically, I also released my lo-fi stuff that you won't find it anymore. But I used to release there, and I think the first, it was Sunlight. Yeah, I remember it was Sunlight. So I think that's the first beat that I ever um, made for lo-fi.
And what was going through your mind back then?
I think it's like the word itself, sunlight. I think at that moment I needed some sunlight. I needed some, when you look at the sun, you get a peace of mind. You get happy. You feel like everything's gonna be fine. So I remember even the backdrop was like yellow. It was like yellow. It was like sunlight, and I feel like it inspired the way that I could just make that beat. Yeah, I don't know if I answered that question.
You did. I really love that actually. Um, because now I said that this is you explaining your journey as a lo-fi artist. I want you to tell me if there are some artists or even people that are outside of lo-fi that have shaped your sound and have inspired you as well.
Hmm. I think the first one would be Jay Dilla. Um, he's a producer, well known, the GOAT. It's Jay Dilla. I have a mixture. So it's Jay Dilla, Jacob Collier, um, Timbaland, Forrest Frank. Like there's a whole different varieties, and I think this other producer called Xander. Oh, is it called Xander with an X? Yeah, like I think he also influences my sound, even the ways in which I want to go. 2 Cents, Softy, as well as Casio. I can name a lot, but yeah, those are the people that I can think about right now.
I want you to walk us through to your process of creating lo-fi beats. How does a beat start? Your idea, the idea in your head, because I can't say show us how the idea is formed, but like, can you just take us through on how that whole song becomes a whole song.
So yeah, I'll just also take you on how the stems sound individually. So this is how they sound. So we'll start with the kick, and the snares and the hi-hats. Unfortunately, I don't have individual separates, but yeah, this is how it sounds. So there's the intro bass that Sundays played. Then I played the actual bass guitar. Some keys and strings. The saxophone, which is the best highlight for me. Then we have the guitars, in which I played. Then we have the effects that Sundays added. This is how it sounds. Some nice laser effects there, and just some nice laser effects, some nice crashes. They really add a good vibe, And basically, just to take you through one by one: drums, bass, keys, sax, guitars, and then some effects. You can always stream the song just to get a full view of the whole beat, but I think I've showed most of how the beat sounded. And yeah, this is Cheerful Giver.
Okay, so we're now going to the great surprise that you've been saying that you are about to tell your people at the end of the video. However, this is not the end. There's still gonna be like a little bit of fun afterwards. Anyways, do you want to tell them what is up?
I'm releasing an album titled 10 Letters, and it's dropping on the 17th of October. Yeah, it's basically 10 tracks that are coming out within the album.
Yay, come on, that is some great news. I feel like we are all anticipating on such an album because we already know how your music feels like, how it tastes like as well. So we cannot wait for your album. Your new album is on the way, obviously, as we already said. How would you describe its vibe in 3 words?
Romantic. It's bouncy, and it's a feel-good album. So yeah.
The next question: Was there a particular story or a feeling or an experience that sparked the creation of this project?
Yeah. Number one, my girlfriend. Yeah, she inspired because it's like I'm writing 10 letters to her, and yeah, I think this is one of the ways that I could be able to communicate my love for my girl. And yeah, I think that's the best way that I can put it. And another description about it is just the feel of it. It's more feel good. It's more encouraging to do something or to feel better, about whatever situation that you're going through. If you're in love, it's also a good, album to play around, your spouse, even people like your family, the love for your family, maybe the love of your brother, the love of your sister, you name it. So yeah, the whole concept is just about love. It's just that the way in which I wrote it, it was 10 love letters to my girl, and yeah.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. The next question that I would ask you about your album is that did you try something new with this album, maybe in sound, style, or the process of the album?
I think I did. There's, I think, Dear You. Dear You is, I don't know, it's more South African, if you can tell by the chord progressions that are there. It sounds like a wedding song if you really listen to the chords, especially like the main chorus of the beat. Yeah, and I think that's something new for me, because if you listen to all my lo-fi beats, they sound jazzy, they just sound lo-fi, they have a certain type of sound. And then there is, I think this beat, you'll hear it when the album drops. It's titled Sundays with You, and there's this sort of like sound effect that I put, and it's more South African. I once heard it on Generations, the Soapy. Yeah, man, like it just has this sort of African feel to it, and I thought it sounded nice blending that with the beat. It's very subtle, it's not something that you're gonna just notice. It's something that you're really gonna just dive in deep to hear it. But yeah, that's what I can say about that.
The last question that I can ask you with relation to your album is that what do you hope listeners feel or experience when they hear this album for the very first time?
I think I hope it encourages anyone, especially creatives, to just start creating. To just not procrastinate. Just get up, do it. If it's a beat, make a beat. If it's a video, make a video. If it's a photo shoot, go do that photo shoot. Things like that. Like, just do something with your talents. And I think also another thing is this is my sort of like introduction to the lo-fi space, as to who Mushy Tonius is. And yeah, I really want people to just understand that this is me, this is my sound. Obviously inspired by so many other artists before me. You can't come to Mushy Tonius and feel bad and feel sad. And you need to feel good. You need to feel in a happy mood. That's why we have songs like Cheerful Giver. You know, to feel like you just want to just sit down and just rest peacefully. That's why there's, songs like Light Roses as well. Yeah.
Just to wrap it up, if music was a color, or rather if lo-fi, your lo-fi was a color, all right, what color would it be and why?
Blue.
Blue. Why blue?
Blue. Again, when you see blue, you see peace. You know, you just look at the sky, you see like you think that everything's gonna be fine, you know. Blue, yellow, and a little bit of purple, because purple is the one for the very calm beats, but for the very hyper, like it's blue, it's yellow, it's just sunshine, it's the beach, the forest. It's just like having a good time, you know. So yeah.
The last question for Mushy Toniers. What message would you leave the listeners today that are listening to you?
I think get closer to God, you know. Above all, we're not here forever. So it's something that I also want to like just spread out to the world at large. Get closer to God, get closer to Jesus. Yeah, like grow in your faith. I think that's one main point that I actually want everyone to really get out of my music. And I think another thing is spread love. You know, spread love. Be kind. Be gentle. Bring peace. You know, bring happiness. Yeah, those are the things that I can just think of at the top of my head. We are at the end, sadly. But yeah, I would like you to go and listen to all the singles. The album is coming 17th of October. So yeah, just mark that date. And yeah, I'm releasing with Settle. My publisher. And yeah, I'm really excited to really release this whole body of work to the world. And yeah, I would appreciate for you guys to just listen to it wherever you can. And yeah, thanks for tuning in and stay blessed.